We welcome back on the show Martin Moore, who's here to provide deep insights to your hard questions on this episode of Tomorrow's Tech. Welcome back on the show, Marty.
Thanks for having me back, Sam.
It's great to have you. Now, Marty, in light of COVID-19, how have leaders been exposed with the increase of working from home arrangements and remote teams?
That's a great question, Sam, and I don't think the jury's back in yet to work out what's actually gone on here. For leaders who are leading really well in a corporate environment, no big change, I don't think. It means they'd already established a level of trust and connection with their people that enables them to manage them in any situation. But the big transition is going from inputs to outputs and outcomes.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have people around you all the time. You can't see what they're doing. And the first week where we had lockdowns in Queensland, you could not get onto the first tee at St Lucia Golf Course because I can see it from my place. And so people were working from home. So the whole thing is understanding what's important for people to produce in terms of value creation, as opposed to just looking at the front end inputs, is really the key to it all. And leaders who aren't used to working on outputs and value creation will really struggle in that environment because they're used to managing people by the clock.
So what can they do?
Well, I think the most important thing is to make sure that you understand and have that value conversation. What is it that really drives value for our business, and how do we make sure we're doing more of that and focusing on those things that really drive the value and producing those out the back end rather than just worrying about what activities people are undertaking.
And Marty, our audience wanted to know, you transitioned from a corporate career to an entrepreneurial venture. Did you always want to run a business?
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. In fact, I thought that my level of risk tolerance disqualified me from being an entrepreneur. But what I found as I got further on through my career and a little bit later in life, I realised what drove me more than anything else, and that's having impact. And my ability to have impact, if I'm in a corporate environment, even if I'm running the largest company on the planet, I'm only going to impact maybe 100 people, and 50 of those don't want to be impacted. But now what we're doing reaches leaders all over the world, 70 countries, tens of thousands of leaders every week, and we're having real impact on what's going on in the world, and that's where I want to be.
Fantastic, Marty. Now, another question is that several of our audience members are entrepreneurs, and they're obsessed with product development and put aside commercialisation and growing the sales pipeline. So how important is the focus on commercialisation, and what if you lack that skill set?
Commercialisation is everything. There's no point in doing anything if it's not able to be commercialised. And the very first thing we did when we set up Your CEO Mentor, now fortunately, with my skills in business, I was able to understand markets, channels to market, product. We went to the most crowded market on the planet, right? Leadership development. But it's a $400 billion a year industry. And so to find a place there, we had to really understand profoundly who our target customer was, the channels that we were going to get to that customer, and how we were actually going to monetize that through our model. And so the most unintuitive thing, my business partner and daughter Emma said to me, "Dad, we're giving away our best stuff for free in the podcast." And I had to come to terms with that as part of our strategy for monetizing the content that we had. And it's working beautifully, so hats off to Emma.
Great to hear. Thank you, Marty, for joining us on the show again and answering with deep insights to the audience hard questions.
It's a pleasure, Sam. Great to see you again.
Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Please follow us across our Tomorrow's Tech LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe to our Tomorrow's Tech YouTube channel. We appreciate you joining us. Be the movement, and see you next time on Tomorrow's Tech.
Tomorrow's Tech, presented by 3 Dot Digital.